Dear students, this is the second video on steam power cycles. In the first video, we discussed about what are the elements of the steam power cycle, how they are connected, okay, and what is the efficiency of the steam power cycle we discussed, right? So, what are the problems with the Carnot cycle and what are the changes made in the Carnot cycle to convert into the Rankine cycle, right? So, from that we come to know that efficiency is equals to 1 minus TL by TH, lower temperature to the high temperature. Now today we will discuss how to increase the efficiency of the Rankine cycle. So from this we can see, if you decrease the TL, what is TL? It is a condenser temperature, or by increasing the boiler temperature. Okay, so we can increase the efficiency of the Rankine cycle, meaning that, so here if you decrease the TL, this value will be decreased, thereby the efficiency will be increased, or if you increase the TH, this ratio will be small, thereby 1 minus that small will be again big one. Okay, so we can increase the efficiency of the boiler. Okay, sorry, not the boiler, it is the steam power plant. Okay, now the first one is the decreasing the condenser pressure. Okay, first one means by decreasing the condenser pressure, we can decrease the TL value. Okay, so by lowering the condenser pressure, meaning that by expanding more time in the first method is by decreasing the condenser pressure, right? As we know, by decreasing the condenser pressure, the steam can be expanded more time in the turbine. Okay. Now you can see 3 to 4 is the normal expansion, and if you decrease the condenser pressure, the expansion will be continued till 3 to 4 days. If you see, the pressure P4 is greater than P4 days, right now, because these lines are constant pressure lines. Now from here you can see here, this is the constant pressure line, and this is the constant pressure line, and this is the constant pressure line, right? So by decreasing the condenser pressure, the expansion is continuous till 3 to 4 days, right? Now if you see, without decreasing the condenser pressure, what is the area here available? 2341. Okay, by decreasing the condenser pressure, now the area is increased. Okay, now the area is increased to 234 dash 1 dash. Okay, so therefore when area increases, automatically the cycle efficiency is also increased. Okay, now the main problem by decreasing the condenser pressure is, so here the problem here is to take the advantage of increased efficiencies at lower pressure, the condensers of the steam power plant usually operate well below the atmosphere. As we know, the always inside the compressed condenser, the pressure is vacuum pressure, right? So this does not present a major problem since the vapor power cycles operate in a closed loop. So these all 4 elements will be operating in a closed loop: condensation, evaporation, expansion. Condensation, evaporation, expansion. This will be actually occurring in the closed loop only. However, there is a limit on the condenser pressure that can be used. Okay, so the pressure of the exit of the turbine should not fall below the saturation pressure of the condensing liquid. The liquid we are using in the condenser. So the pressure of the steam leaving the turbine should not fall below the saturation pressure of the liquid we are using for the condensation purpose. Okay, suppose for example, if you take, we are using the river. From the river we are taking the water for the condensation. Let us assume in the river the temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, in the river the water is at 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, now allowing a temperature difference of 10 degree for effective heat transfer, the steam temperature in the condenser must not be below the 25 degree. Meaning that, so if the temperature is 25 degree, the saturation pressure at that temperature is 3.2 kilopascal, means the maximum limit of pressure exit pressure is 3.2 kilopascal, right? The pressure should not fall below this value, because there is a limit that the pressure of exit steam should not fall below the saturation pressure of the liquid we are using. Then only the heat transfer will be taking place. That is the first one, by lowering the condenser pressure. Second one is by increasing the TH. How to increase the TH? By superheating the steam to higher temperatures, right? So we are superheating the steam. So what is superheating? Now you can see this is the constant pressure line and this is the vapor line, and if you move right side of the vapor line, this will be perfect gases, means we can say superheated form. Okay, now we can see 3 to 3 dash, it is superheated. Okay, So superheating of steam will increase the net work output because the area is increased. If you see, instead of 3 to 4, it is increased to 3 to 4 The net area is increased. When the net area is increased, automatically the efficiency of the plant is also going to increase. Okay. Now, third one is the increasing the boiler pressure. Okay. Now you can see this line 2 to 3 is one pressure line. 2 to 3 line is one pressure line. Okay. Now, instead of 1 to 2, we are increasing the pressure to till 2 If you increase the 2, now see here, we are increasing the pressure, but we are maintaining the temperature of the steam entering into the turbine is constant. You can see this is a 3 and 3 lies on a horizontal line. If you see on vertical axis, you have temperature. So when both the points are on the same horizontal line, the temperature remains constant. We are increasing the pressure, but we are maintaining the temperature of the steam entering into the turbine is constant. Okay. Increasing the operating pressure of the boiler leads to increasing the temperature at which the heat is transferred to the steam and thus raises the efficiency of the cycle. Okay. So now note that for fixed inlet temperature, the cycle shifts to the left. You can see here, instead of earlier, the point 3 is right of the your vapor line, but if you see point 3 is closer to this. Okay. Now what is the main problem here? 3 to 4 observed, 3 to 4. 3 to 4, the point 4 is nearer to vapor line, but 4 is far away from vapor line. Means it is two-phase mixture. Getting on it? It is slightly liquid will be there, but it is vapor only. But 4 is liquid plus vapor. Due to this, what will happen? So due to the vapor due to the liquid present inside the steam, it will corrode the blades of the turbine. That is the problem with the by increasing the boiler pressure, because the point 4 is shifted to the left side. Okay. So now next we will see the other types of the efficiency increasing methods. Now this problem. So what is the main problem here? The point 4 is shifted to 4 thereby the vapor liquid is present. It erodes the blades. To avoid that one, what we are doing? That can be corrected by reheating the steam. Very important. Reheating the steam. So very simple, easy to understand. I will explain. So let us assume only one boiler is there. This is normal Rankine cycle. Boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. Right? Now, so the name itself, it is indicate that reheating the heat. Reheating the heat means we are expanding the steam in two turbines. First we are allowed to expand the steam in one turbine. After that again we are reheating to the original temperature. Then we are allowed to expand over the second turbine. Okay. So that what will happen? The moisture content can be eliminated so that the corrosion problem can be overcome. Okay. Now to take the advantage of increased efficiency without facing an excessive moisture at the final stage of the turbine, reheating is used. Okay. Now as we know, you can see this is the boiler. So from the feed pump, the water is supplied to the boiler, and at 3 we are getting the steam. Okay. At 3 the steam is entering into the turbine and it is allowed to expand over the turbine. Thereby the pressure drop will take place. Okay. So now we are going to pressure drop will take place as well as temperature drops also takes place due to the expansion. Now we are increasing the temperature. By maintaining the pressure constant. Got it? Maybe pressure drop is taking place from 3 to 4, but at point 4 we are maintaining the pressure constant but increasing the temperature to the original temperature at which the steam is entered into the high pressure turbine. Means again while passing through the superheater, or we can call it as reheater, the steam temperature is increased. Now you can see the 0.5 and the 0.3. 0.3 is the temperature at which the steam is entering into the high pressure turbine. Then again we are sending it to the boiler for reheating. Again the temperature is increased to the original temperature. At this point of time we are allowing the steam to expand over the low pressure turbine from 5 to 6. You can see 5 to 6 is the expansion of the steam in low pressure turbine, and 3 to 4 is the expansion of the steam in high pressure turbine. So 4 to 5 process is the reheating. 4 to 5 process is the reheating. Now after 6 what we need to do? We need to condense the steam. Okay, now it is allowed to pass through the condenser. Now 6 to 1 process is the condensation process. Now you can see in the TS diagram, this is the condensation process. Then 1 to 2 is the pumping process. Then 2 to 3 is the heat addition in the boiler at constant pressure. This is the constant pressure line 2 to 3. Okay, now you can see here we are adding the heat in two ways, right? From 2 to 3 we are adding the heat, and from 4 to 5 we are adding the heat. At the same time we are extracting the work from 3 to 4 and 5 to 6. If you write the energy balance equation, so Q will is equals to H3 minus H2 plus H5 minus H4. Got it? At the same time, work output is equals to H3 minus H4 plus H5 minus H6. That's what written here. Okay. As we know, the formula efficiency equal to net work by heat supplied. From that we can substitute. You will get the from reheating, the efficiency of the plant can be increased up to 4 to 5% on average. Okay. This is the reheating process. Next important one is the regenerative Rankine cycle. This is also one of the efficient energy improving method. Okay. So in case of regenerative means, so what we are doing, I'll just go through the diagram. Now you can see here, there will be again regeneration is of two types. So what we are doing in regeneration process, after boiler, the steam is expanding in the turbine. Okay. So now what we are doing, we are trapping the steam from the turbine. So we are not allowed to expand the steam completely in the turbine. After expanding partially, some portion of the steam is trapped from the turbine, and that particular steam is used to heat the feed water. Okay, got the point? So we are allowing the steam partially in the turbine, and some portion of the steam from the turbine is trapped to heat the feed water. So thereby the temperature of the feed water entering into the boiler can be increased, thereby the plant efficiency can be increased. Here the feed water heater, okay, feed water heater is also helps to remove the air present inside the condensed liquid. So that process is called deaerating the feed water. Okay. So there are two types of feed water heaters, that is open and closed, direct and indirect. Okay, we will see one by one. So open, nothing but direct contact, means in this case the steam and water are going to mix directly, physical contact. Physically we are mixing the steam and the condensed water, thereby its temperature is raised. Now you can see here, from the boiler, so 4 is the water entering into the boiler, 5 is the steam coming out of the boiler. You can see 5. It is the highest temperature point. Okay. Now you see that 4 to 5 constant pressure line, 2 to 3, 6 is also a constant pressure line. Okay. Now at point 5 the steam is entering into the turbine. Let us assume 1 kg of steam is entering into the turbine. 1 kg of steam is entering into the turbine. So in that 1 kg, what we are doing, after some time, let us say when the steam is expanded to 6, at that time I am trapping y kg of the steam. You can see from 1 kg we are trapping y kg of the steam after expanding partially. Now what is the steam left out if you trap y kg from 1 kg? 1 minus y kg is left, that is allowed to expand completely. Got the point? For example, I am taking 1 kg. In that 1 kg, y kg is allowed to expand till the 6. Remaining 1 minus y kg is allowed to expand till 7. Means at 6, y kg of steam is entering into the open feed water heater. Got it? So therefore 5 to 6 is the 1 kg of the steam is expanding, and 5 to 7, 1 minus y kg of the steam is expanding. Got it? Okay. This 1 minus y kg of the steam after expanding completely in the turbine is allowed to pass through the condenser, thereby it gets condensed, and again this condensed liquid we are mixing with the y kg of the steam trapped from the turbine after partial expansion. That's why we are calling it as direct contact. Okay. So the other name is open type feed water heater or direct contact feed heater. Here we are mixing steam with the feed water, thereby its temperature is raised. So while mixing water with the steam, what will happen? Gases will be liberated. Okay. Those gases can be removed. That process is also called as deaerating the feed water. Okay. Now at point 3, what is the temperature? Temperature is higher temperature, right? That hot water is pumped to the boiler and the cycle is repeated. Now come to the TS diagram. At 5, 1 kg of the steam is entering, 1 kg of steam, right? So at point 6, we are trapping y kg. Means 1 kg is expanded till 5 to 6, and if you take y kg from 1 kg, the remaining is 1 minus y kg. 1 minus y kg is expanded from 5 to 7. 1 minus y into 5 to 7, y into 5 to 6. This is the work done by the turbine. You can see work done by the turbine is equals to 1 kg is expanded from 5 to 6, and 1 minus y kg is expanded from 5 to 7. Sorry, 6 to 7. Okay, sorry. So till here it is 1 kg. From here it is 1 minus y kg. 6 to 7 is from 1 minus y kg, and 5 to 6 is total mass of the steam, that is 1 kg. That is the work output of the turbine. And heat addition will be Qin is at what point? And at 5 to 4. Okay. So boiler 4 to 5 is the heat addition. Okay. 4 to 5. And where we are getting the heat out? In the condenser. What is the mass of the steam entering? 1 minus y kg. 1 minus y into 7 minus 1. 1 minus y into 7 minus 1 is the heat out of that, right? Now we are using two pumps here. Okay, so one pump is from 1 to 2, other pump is 3 to 4, right now. So that is H1 minus H2 and H3 minus H4, or we can written as specific volume into P1 minus P2, specific volume into 3 minus 4, P3 minus P4. This is the pump. Got it? This is the open type of feed water heater. In open type, we are directly mixing the trapped steam with the feed water. Thereby, the feed water temperature is increased. Now, thermal efficiency of Rankine cycle increases as a result of regeneration, since feed water heater raises the average temperature of the water before it enters the boiler. Many large power plants have as many 8 feed water. It's not compulsory that there should be one feed water. We can use n number of feed waters, depends upon your requirement. Okay. Now, second type of the feed water is the closed feed water. Okay. So in open type, there is a direct mixing of water and steam is taking place. Okay. But here, that problem is eliminated. Here it is a closed one or indirect feed water heater. So what we are doing, same thing here also. After expanding the steam partially, we are trapping the steam from the turbine. Let us assume y kg is trapped here. Okay. So means 1 kg is expanded from 6 to 7. And if you trap y kg, 1 minus y kg is expanded. Okay. Now 1 minus y kg is expanded from 7 to 8. Okay. Now you can see we are trapping the steam from the turbine and we are not mixing directly. You can see 1 minus y kg is condensed here. That one we are pumping through the closed feed water heater. Through the pipes we are pumping the feed water. Like it is a closed feed water is also a heat exchanger. Inside the tubes we are pumping the water. Outside the tubes are exposed to the hot flue gases. Here in place of hot flue gases, what is there? Steam will be there. So there will be heat exchange between the steam and the water. Thereby the steam gets condensed and it will be collected. And that thing we are collecting from the pump 2. And from this it is feed water is already heated. And that is coming here, and the steam got condensed is also coming from pump 2. Both are we are mixing physically here. Thereby again the temperature will be, now you can see here the temperature of the water leaving the feed water heater. The temperature of the water leaving the feed water heater is almost equal to the temperature of the exit of the turbine. Means we are trapping the steam from the turbine, that temperature almost equal. Okay. So there will be some small gap, then only heat exchange will be taking place. So that's why almost both the temperatures are equal. They are mixing in the mixing chamber and then the cycle is repeated. Okay. The difference between open and closed is, in open type we are mixing directly steam and feed water. In closed type, the condensed water is passing through the tubes and outside the tubes are exposed to the steam. Thereby the heat exchange is taking place. That is about the closed feed water heater. Here there are some differences are mentioned here between open and closed one. You can go through that. And with this, according to syllabus, this is about one. Now just know the knowledge point of view. Cogeneration, very simple. Some plants require power as well as the heat. Okay, some plants require only power. Okay, now if your plant, if you take an example for the paper industry, pulp industry, chemical industry, they not only require the power, but also they require the heat. So at that time they will go for the cogeneration plants. Cogeneration plant is nothing but same thing like regeneration only. We are trapping the heat from the turbine after expanding partially. That thing will be used for the process purpose. Any processing purpose we can use that steam. After that we will mix with the water only. Okay. So that is the cogeneration. Cogeneration means we are generating the power as well as we are using the heat for the process. Okay. Usually, so in this process we are taking the steam at 150 to 200 degrees centigrade at 5 to 7 atmospheric pressure. These plants also require large amount of electric power. Therefore, it makes economical and engineering sense to use already existing work potential to use as a process heat. This is called cogeneration. Cogeneration means we are getting the electric power as well as the heat. Okay. So with this steam power cycles are over.